today we are going to do basic looks of makeup looks. So we're just going to go with more of an everyday basic go-to look, basically in the mornings or just running errands or anything like that. Just something basic, still got a glow, still gives you some color. And then we're going to go on to more of like a business casual. If you have an interview coming up and you still want to show some type of personality or just any type of color, like I mentioned before, we could do that. And we're going to also see what else or what little of items that you do need just to make the whole look glammed up if you're going out or you got to get ready in the car and you're going out with your girls that night or anything like that. So we're going to go over some little tips and reminders so you can go back and look at when you're doing or picking the makeup that you need. So depending on that, we'll just present that and you'll have that to keep to look back at as well. Okay, so the basic to makeup application. Okay, so always sanitizing your brushes after every use. So after you use them and you know you're not going to use them anymore, or even at the end, you want to gather them all at the end. And you're just basically get a spray bottle of alcohol and spray the brushes.
Do they got scrimps here? All right, I'm sorry.
And or you could just apply hand soap, antibacterial hand soap, and just rub it against something with friction. So you can use a towel or you can even buy a rubber. Well, I'll show you guys later. This rubbery thing that I bought from a store, and that also helps to clean them off. And then when you clean the bristles through you clean the entire brush, rinse under lukewarm water, and then just lay it flat on the table to dry. And I would just avoid anywhere that is moist or humid in the room or even warm, so we could just avoid any bacteria forming. Like I've mentioned before, you could use rubbing alcohol. I like to use a spray bottle instead of just dipping it in a jar and wiping them off afterwards. But then again, lay flat to dry. Your small brushes should take a short time to dry. However, the larger brushes obviously will take a little while. Make sure you let the brushes dry completely before using, or else it'll start building up the makeup combined with the alcohol or the soap that you used. So on the left side, I just had a little image of just all types of brushes that you might receive in a makeup bag or anything like that. But and then the names of them. But some of them actually come with the little guide, and it'll tell you exactly what it's best to use it for, whether it's your eyes or your cheeks or for any detailed work as well. Stay true to one consistency at a time. If hydrated and dewy are the words you want to be associated with, so it gives it more of like a shine look, finishing look, then a cream-based makeup is your best choice. Creams tends to stay shiny, which is great if the skin is dry. Creams tend to give off a glowy look, like I mentioned earlier, that doesn't dry up. So for a dry skin, I would definitely use a cream-based makeup. It'll give it more of a moisturized, shiny look. But then again, the primer that you'll be using is hydrating as well. So just a whole bunch of hydrating products will benefit the dry skin. Then we have liquid and powder. Liquid generally looks more sheer and some dry, especially when you set it with the powder, the translucent powder as a finish. It's great for oily skin. It'll just dry up the area. They even have little strips that you can use also for oily skin, so you don't have to keep adding powder and then it looks cakey as well. Powder base can blend. You can layer it on top of other powders, and it is the easiest to manipulate, but too much powder can end up looking cakey, like I said. Okay, and as I mentioned, with the sanitizing your brushes, you just want to make it more of a like a routine of finishing, finishing your makeup, and you're about to head out. You want to leave them drying, so it will just avoid all types of bacteria or any breakouts later on that you might assume is the makeup, but is really your brushes. So you got to make sure everything's sanitized. Powders and palettes. Fill your spray bottle with rubbing alcohol and spritz the powder directly, and then just let it air dry. And then for liquid foundation, dip a cotton round in a bit of rubbing alcohol and give the foundation's bottle the nozzle or the cap and just give it a good clean. And then for the pencils and sharpeners, for eyeliners, lip liners, brow pencils, even the sharpener that it comes with or whatever sharpener you are using, you can let it sit in a small bowl filled with rubbing alcohol. And for about 5 minutes before you wipe it clean, just let it dry. And then for the pencils, you would just spray it and then wipe with a cotton round or anything around, and it'll be set to put it back in the cap. We have liquid, powder, and cream. And those are just examples and images of the different types of foundation bottles, how a powder palette would come in, and the cream-based stuff. And for the detailed parts of color correcting, that's a lot of people's concerns of how to hide and without piling up so much makeup on your face, just hiding any blemishes or redness or any even the dark circle eyes as well. So for the green one, you would use that to cancel redness. The purple cancels out the yellow. Pink cancels out the brown. So if some parts are darker, you have any bruising from any breakouts, you can use that. Orange cancels out the blue, which could be well, for me, I feel like the blue will really just be where around my eyes, the veins, I can see them. So that's when I use more of like the concealer or orange color correcting palette. Also, there's peach, which also cancels the blue, and the yellow cancels redness as well. So green and yellow both cancel out redness. So for the yellow tone discoloration, yellowish bruises would be the purple. And on the diagram, it shows you what areas you would use it. And blue toned under eye circles, bruises, dark spots on dark skin tones, blue toned under eye circles, you'll use the orange. Red spots, acne, pink tone scars, red around your eyes would use green as well, and the yellow. So, okay. So now that we have more of an idea of, the differences of each makeup and how people actually have their preference, and it's all the same, but it's just really not the same. It's just a whole little recipe that you got to figure out for your skin, especially if it's sensitive. So we'll start. I always wash your face before starting your makeup. You want to start on a clean slate. Where's my, oh, so I washed my face. Have to put some moisturizer. I like to use CeraVe as well as Cetaphil, and it's more of like a sensitive to normal dry skin type moisturizer, and it's not so heavy, so it doesn't really, it's not as thick on my face. And the application is always different after you wash your face and moisturize it. So I'm also going to add the hydrating face primer that I have from e.l.f. And you'll just put it out a little bit, because a little bit goes a long way with the primer usually. You want to go towards your neck, just because you don't want your face, only your face of makeup, full of makeup, and then it doesn't blend with the rest of your neck and chest. So you want it all to just blend in. I also have a different primer that I do use, not all the time, but is a double duty beauty from Tarte. Can't really see the brand, but it's also a hydrating primer. So and this one, the e.l.f. one is a little bit more thicker, and the Tarte one, the one I didn't use, is feels like more of like a lotion and cream, and it smells good as well. So some people do get products based off of, you know, if it smells a certain way or if it does not smell appealing. But so now I would just look at what areas I would like to lighten up, or any scarring or anything like that. And I like to get around my eyes, which have like dark circles. So I'm going to be using this brush. And I'll also be using the NYX brand concealer. And it's always going to be a shade or two lighter to brighten up well, any marks really. Because then you'll just apply the foundation that matches your skin tone, and it'll just all blend and hide, and you won't be able to see it. So it's definitely some layers for the for any scarring or bruising or even redness. So if I was trying to hide the redness, I'll use the green color correcting color from the palette, which I have one, but I don't really have any redness at the moment. So just use the green, and you'll just put it wherever the redness occurs, and then that's when you'll lay the foundation on top right after, and does the same thing. It's just hiding and blending everything in so it can all just be one nice little glow. And you're just really patting onto your skin the product. You don't want to just rub it from left to right and get an irritation just from rubbing so much, especially around the eye area, just because the skin is thinner compared to around your face. So Just want to be gentle and just pat it around. And just get an even application all around. And then you can always go back and fix whatever else with the foundation or taking it off, but you can always build it up. So once we did that, oh, you see some bruising from past breakouts. So now that we did that, concealed, hid all the little marks, I'll move on to my foundation. So because not everybody, you can't find your skin tone perfectly in every store or just in one bottle. So I went with e.l.f. foundation, which is a medium with golden undertones. And then this one is just more of a neutral color. So it's a golden beige. So they both have a gold in it, the undertones, the gold undertones. And I'll just mix it to get the color that I need. So one is darker and one is lighter. So the e.l.f. one, you can always use your hand. And then just put more of the lighter, and then you can always add more dark little by little to get the color that you actually need that matches. So I like using this flat brush. It's a round brush. And you'll just pat the foundation, mix it up a bit, and then just go in and just start spreading around the foundation that you're going to be using. This foundation gives a good coverage, so I don't want to use so much that it'll be too heavy. And for just a better application, just go in circular motions so you don't get those streaks or anything like that as well. And like I said, you want it to blend towards your neck area as well. Now that we got all around the face, we'll do, since we're doing more of a everyday go-to look, you just basically can just do a natural shaping for your brows. So I would use like a powder base instead of a gel, because a gel is way more bolder and darker when you apply it. But the powder, you can always build it up. It's a Maybelline Brow Drama palette, and we'll be using the dark brown. It also comes with a little brush. mascara wand, well, brow brush now. So you'll just pat it. Brush your brows out so you can have more of like an outline and know what you're shaping up and what arch you want. And I would start with the tail of your brow to really get the shape that you want without making it too bold in the front or bigger and then it's just thin at the end. So just I like to start at towards the end of the brow. And we're doing powder just because this is just a and waking up, going to run errands, and you just have to have everything uniform. Then go ahead and just do the brow, the concealing, the marks if you have any, and foundation. There's also tinted moisturizers that you can, those are way easier to just manipulate, but not so much of coverage. So then once I get the tail going, I just go towards the middle and build it up. And I like to go, well, put less towards the middle so it doesn't give it too much of a bold rectangular look. So I'd like it more of a natural look. So more of lightness and then going darker. And then I'll just use the mascara brush and just brush it out, and you can lighten it that way as well, just using the brush. If it's too dark, just brush it and it'll lighten up. It's just powder. So we're done with the brow area. And then for that, I would just, well, to clean the middle area, you could use anything. It could be a brow brush, the brush that you use for your concealer, but, or you could put foundation towards the middle as well to hide or clean up anything. But since it's just powder, it's pretty much easy to wipe away the mess towards the middle. So I just use a Q-tip. So then we'll just apply some mascara instead of using anything like lashes or anything like that to glam up the whole look. Especially just running errands, you could just put on some mascara and lip gloss and you're all good, or just chapstick. And this mascara is called Plumped Up Colossal Volume Express, and it's this color. So if you see them at the store, they're pretty much everywhere, but that one I like because of the brush, and it grabs more hair and it gives it more of a volume and longer look. Get too clumpy and then it just messes up the whole look. So once we're doing that, we could just finish up and just put some gloss or anything, chapstick that they have. I just used a clear gloss, and I got this one from Victoria's Secret. And I'll just apply it. And then we're pretty much set with the just everyday going, run errands, or just need a little quick up, pick up, or a little color, especially. Because sometimes you'll feel like, you see too much and you just want to cover it up and add some type of color. Blush helps too, but you can always add some blush. And if you do add blush to your everyday look, then I would go more towards the natural skin color, or whatever's closest to your skin tone as well, because some may be too light and some may be too dark, but that one is a natural color. And then it goes more pink and peachy as well. Okay, so we're done with that everyday look, and now we're going to go towards the interview look. Business casual, you still want to show some type of look, but don't want to add too much that it'll interfere into anything, or they may think, oh, you're so into your looks or your makeup, and it's really not the case. So all we would really do is just add a cat eye. So you can use one of these markers. It's a Maybelline marker, or it comes in a little gel pack. You can also get one of those, or really they're just selling the pens now too, to make it easier and you won't mess up so easy as well. And it's angled as well, so it helps. So with that, we'll just use this to give it more of a bold look. And for that look, I would just let your eyes be the boldness of it. And then I'll add another like gloss or more of a natural nude toned gloss to the whole look, to still get some color, and also some blush. It's a little bit more difficult. And you don't have to do too much of a cat eye, just so it won't be so dramatic as well. And then you'll just apply the mascara that I just used over it, just to flare out my lashes. And for that one, I could just use a nude color, which I also got from Victoria's Secret as well. It's the same thing, but just in a pink container. And this one is called Almost Nude. So, remove the clear gloss, add some color. So with this look, all you needed was a gel eyeliner and mascara and a natural colored lip gloss, or it could be lipstick as well. So any lip color can change the whole look. And I still kept it natural with the brows, not too bold. And yeah. So with this, we could add some blush. And with that one, I like to use this rounded angled brush. And I'll go with the most natural one and just pat it. With powder-based makeup, you can always build up, like you've seen on the PowerPoint. You can always just pile it up, and you don't want it to look too cakey as well.
We lost your picture.
Oh, okay. So I was just adding the blush and using this brush. And as I was mentioning earlier, how to sanitize your brushes and stuff, you can have something like this that and it'll stick to the sink if you needed to, but or you could just use it wherever and just use it to for your brushes. And I like it because it really does take off most of the makeup rather than using a towel. It's not as much friction. So now we can just go on and we're gonna go towards the glam look. So with that look, I would definitely use a gel or a creamy base brow palette or brow pencil. I like to use the brow palette. So this palette is from Eyelier and it has the gel. So the dark brown gel option. It has the powder in the middle as well, and then the highlighting for the brow bone. So we have those. And we're just gonna wipe the brow area. And I'll be keeping everything else on. So all I would do is just change my brow makeup, which I'll be using this brush instead. And there's no right or wrong order on how you need to do your makeup. But I'll start on my brows and then we can add some eye shadow to add some type of color to the lip colors that we're gonna change it to. So it would be more of a brighter, bold look, especially if you're going out. And then just add some highlight around your eyes, your nose, and contour if you would like. But it gives it more of a definite shape. And then on pictures, depending if you're having a photo shoot or anything like that, you definitely want to go more boldness so it can actually appear on the pictures clear. And for the gel brow palette, I have to use little to little makeup. I just have to pat it and then build it up just because it's already thick. So you can easily make your brows very thick and dark with the gel palette. Okay, and we're just gonna keep it still light towards the middle. then we'll use the brush and to lighten it up. Now that we got the brows done, we can just go on and use this eyeshadow palette that I got. It's called Perfect Beauty Glazed. So it has options. It has some glittered options to matte options. And we're gonna go towards the khaki, which is a little bit lighter, but more of the natural side. We can add some pink too, and then we'll also add some of the raw brown color as well. And with that one, I will use more of a small, but still fluffy brush. So there's more of a flat brush right there. And then this is more of a rounded brush, but still small. So I'll just use that, pat the eyeshadow. You don't have to rub it. You can still just build up the makeup. And from the lid, you want to go up a little bit more over it, just so it can blend towards your brow. I'll use a smaller rounded brush for the pink color, just because I will be using a little bit of it rather than a whole lot, and I just make it easier to just build up and not get too crazy, and it'll just be too bright of a pink for me. Unless that is the color that you want, the bold pink, then you can get even more, or even a bigger brush that will hold all that. Okay, and we're gonna go with the the brown, and I'll add that towards the end, and then slowly it'll just go towards the middle, so it won't have like a strong streak where it's not blended. Okay. So once we got the eye area done, we can add some contouring just for the shape. I like to contour underneath my cheekbones and around my chin area as well. So with that, there's the powder form. So they always have the darker tone, the lighter, and it gets lighter. So depending on your skin tone, you would be using the one that's darker than your tone to contour the shadowed look, and then highlight with obviously the one that's the lightest. And there's cream, there's all kinds. So it just depends on what you like. I like the powder one because once again, I could build it up and not overdo it with more of a cream base. So we're gonna add that to both sides. Okay. So for contouring, we're pretty much done with that. With the contouring, I used more of a rounded brush, but it's still pointed at the top as well. So it gives it more of a, I could be detailed with the contouring and still blend at the same time. And we're just gonna highlight the areas that I want to highlight, which is gonna be down my T-zone, on my forehead and nose, and then underneath my eyes still, and then a little bit on my chin. So going out, just want to have a lot of highlighted areas. So with that, I'll be using the Lasting Fix Banana Translucent Setting Spray, which will be Maybelline, and it'll look like this. There's different brands, and to be honest, they all work pretty good. I like to use a brush. I mean, not a brush, a sponge. So it has more of a angled, pointy end, and I'll just use that to get in between my eyes. And you just want to pat it. It's pretty messy, so especially if you're wearing black, this powder is, you have to be careful. It will go everywhere. But it is easy to clean up afterwards. And I'm just patting underneath. And since I contoured around my cheekbones, I want to highlight that a little bit more with the translucent powder. Now, just to finish up the look, just let it sit for a little bit. It won't stay that light, but as you brush it, you'll still notice the highlighted areas that you just applied. And with this, the sponge, you would clean the same way, hand soap, and run it under lukewarm water, and you just keep squeezing it until it's back to its normal color. And you can use this brush for anything. Foundation application, I do sponge application is pretty different than a brush, but like I said, it's a preference thing. So it just depends on the makeup that you're using, the consistency, and how it reacts to your skin as well. So now I will just glam up and use lashes to also stand out, to keep my eyes standing out. So after just applying the cat eye, the eyeliner, I could just apply some lashes. And because I have the eyeliner on there, you don't have to use the heaviest lashes that you find, but it'll still be a noticeable look. So we're going to use a pen that we got that is also an adhesive. So I can use this and apply it on top of the black liner over my eyes, and then You also can use a tweezer, your fingers. I find it easier to use one of these. It's a lash tweezer. So you would just hold it towards the middle, and then I would just apply the adhesive. And with this eyeliner pen adhesive, it dries out pretty quick, and well, compared to a more of a liquid based one. So there's still lash strip glue that you can also use. If that doesn't work for you, you can also just use that and apply it to the lash and then apply it to your lash line. So I would, if you haven't yet, when you get brand new lashes, I just would recommend trying it on and then seeing where you would need to cut. Just because if it's too long, it will make your eyes look droopy, or it just won't look as natural as you would want it to. You're gonna let it sit for a few seconds, and it should stick real quick. Those are the most tedious things, is working around your eyes with lashes. So okay, so we got that one on, and now we're just gonna put on the next one and then move on to our lip color that we're gonna get. And when you apply lashes, a tip I would say would be is cut towards the end, and when you're applying it, make sure the middle part is not poking towards the middle, because that tends to happen when you're trying to get it all the way towards the middle and just perfect, and it's going to be uncomfortable, and then you won't even last with them. So if anything, there's some lashes that are wispy and demis, which is just probably half, a little bit half of your lash, and you could just apply that towards the ends, and it'll just look like your actual natural lash. Okay, so these are more of a bold lash look. So now we're done with the eye area. We got the eyeliner, and we just added lashes with that because we already had the eyeliner. Changed the brow to the gel palette, so it's a little bit more bold. And then we added the translucent powder underneath and the contouring. So now for the lip color, we will go either a dark color, which is, this one is Ginger Snap, is an NYX butter gloss. So you can just go towards that color, or maybe a different bold color like a red. So we could try the red today. And also we're gonna add some more highlight around where I just applied translucent powder. So with that, I'll use the highlighter brush, but it's more of a fanned out brush, and just lightly just start brushing away all the lighter areas where the translucent powder is. So with the highlighter, you have options. You have a powder option, so you can go as light and shimmery is all shimmery, but more of the gold side, or just a natural tone one, or even darker. And they also have a liquid form, which I got from Tarte, and you would just apply a small amount around the areas that you want highlighted and just pat it either with a brush or with a sponge. And also these disposable sponges are very useful for any random mess ups, and you don't want to use the same brush or the same sponge because of the color. You don't want to mix up colors. Those are always good, and I got those from Amazon, so they come in a big pack, so you won't run out. So we can go with the more of a gold highlighting. So we'll use the same fan brush. And I go around the cheek areas, and a little bit goes a long way with the highlighter, so I wouldn't go too crazy. I'll definitely go around the top of your nose and forehead, and then chin area. Okay. So now we could just add the lip color. Once we've done the highlighting, we can go on to the lip area. If you want more of a bold, like detailed shape, I would just get a lip pencil and then go over it with the gloss or the color that you want. So we're gonna go with the red color today. Okay. And if it's matte, you can always actually gloss it up. If you didn't want the matte look, then you can just gloss it up with the clear lip gloss. But since this one is still shiny, I don't really need to do that. But for those that have the matte options of lipstick or anything like that, you can, instead of buying a whole shiny version of that color, you could just add some gloss on top of it. And then we're just gonna finish up with the setting spray, which you also have an option for a matte look if you don't really like the shiny and dewy, and especially if you have oily skin, I would just go with the matte spray. And there's one like this that you can also get from Amazon, and the dewy option as well. So I'm going to go with the dewy look. Oh, actually, we can add just one little detail of glitter towards the middle of my eye. And we're just gonna go with the chrome option right here and just pat it a little bit, and using this small pointed brush. And then we'll just put it towards the middle. Okay. Okay, now we could just set the spray, and then we're basically all done with the going out glam look. If you're going out for the night, just adding lashes can make a difference, changing the product that you use on your brows, and just the lip color and some highlight, whichever type of highlight that you like to use is basically up to you. And if you want highlight, you don't always have to use it. And then a translucent banana powder is always good. Okay. Now you're all set. And now your makeup will last for most of the whole night. And then just carry your lip gloss or your lipstick that you have for the night, and you're all set. So, oh, and also have makeup wipes. Whatever works for your skin, always have them handy. They have some traveling size ones that you could just carry around in case you need to change something or fix anything. But it's pretty much all you need. And that's just the 3 looks. So it feels like a lot, but it's really just little items that you slowly can add throughout the day. So also, if you have any questions or any techniques you want me to go over or get into detail, I can also help you with that as well. So if you have any questions, I'm here.
All right, good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you.